helmets and microphones are nearing approval in the Big Ten, and not just the Big Ten, but all over the country. This was Connor Stalions' dream someday. This is just what he wanted more than anything else. I know there are some Michigan fans saying Connor Stalions finally got his wish, and so I feel like I can make the joke about it because I see Michigan fans making the joke about it. But Spartan Dog, we'll start with you first. Are you in favor of the helmet communications that they're not here yet? There's going to be a vote in February, but are most likely coming to college football this year?
I'm a huge proponent. Frankly, this is a long time coming. This is technology that has been in the NFL for, I want to say almost 20 years now.
30, I think.
Yeah. So I think
94.
It is going to go a long way in determining in kind of curbing the Stalions-ness of college football, some of the sign stealing stuff. The thing I'm most interested in is the learning curve that's going to take place, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of adjustment, especially on defense, right? Who's going to have it? Who's going to be the play caller? How effective are these play calls going to be? I think the NFL rule is at 15 seconds on the play clock, the communication's turned off. So I'll be interested to see kind of whether or not college football expands that a little bit, just because it is kind of the college game, or if they kind of make it uniform with the NFL. So yeah, this is a long time coming, and I couldn't be more in favor.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked about it. I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to change the game in quite a few ways. And we'll talk about how it'll change the game here in a minute. But I look at it and I say this is not only going to, I think, give us a better product on the field, but I think it's going to help these quarterbacks get more prepared for the NFL as well, and helping them that area. Alec, are you in favor, not in favor? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I am in favor of this. I do think that it's going to help young quarterbacks, especially because maybe a little less signals for them to learn, on the fly, less to prepare for, leading up to game week. But the one thing I will say, kind of what Spartan Dog said about the 15-second thing, where in the NFL, the microphone goes off or the headset goes off, is you're still going to have some kind of checks with the sideline and figure out signs for that too, because I know, especially when Joe Moorhead was at Penn State and he was the offensive coordinator, it was like, hurry up, get to the line, see what the defense is doing. And then they would check about 2 or 3 times to snap the ball with 3 seconds left on the play clock. So you're going to have to still do a little bit of both. But I do think with the whole sign stealing stuff that's gone on the past couple of years, this was the right move. And it was way behind the NFL.
Yeah. And I mean, when I look at it, I say, almost like tough noogies to the smaller schools that say, oh, we don't have enough money to pay for this. It's like, okay, well, the schools that do have enough money can pay for it. And the schools that don't have enough money, they're just not going to pay for it. It's one of those things where it's like, are we really going to hinder Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State's, budget and what they can pay for based off what Bowling Green can pay for, based off what, Louisiana Monroe can pay for? Like, at a certain point, we just have to go with what's better for the game. And for some teams, it will be better. And for other teams, they might have to work toward that. It might take them a few years to be able to make enough money to make that happen. But some teams might not have as strong of communications through their helmet, but it is what it is. And that's just kind of the way, the cookie crumbles, I guess you could put it. I forget what movie that's from, but Anchorman. Is that it?
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. Okay, yes, there we go. All right, so Spartan Dog, do you think this is going to be better for the game, worse for the game? Do you think it's going to be, you don't think the game will really be affected, more quality product, less quality? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know if we're going to see a big quality jump in terms of production out of offenses because of this. The game might move like relatively maybe a little bit faster just because, there's not as many checks over to the sideline. There's going to be a lot more of, okay, when they get to the line, the quarterback's going to have the play and he's going to have the kill play like already in his helmet. By the time he gets there, he's not going to have to look over to the sidelines for the kill play. So I do think the kind of snap to snap play is going to get sped up a little bit. But like you brought up, JR, this is going to be huge for adjusting quarterbacks to life in the NFL, right? Because, there's enough with expanded playbooks and all the audible options NFL quarterbacks are expected to run, along with just the speed of the game, that, having to learn to listen to your helmet is eliminating that. I think getting quarterbacks used to that is going to go a long way. And not just quarterbacks too. It's going to be on defense, right? And, having like Mike linebackers or strong safeties also have that learning curve. That's going to be huge for NFL defenses too.
Yeah, I think you can have one on defense, and I think it has to be one of the linebackers, but it has to be like consistently that same linebacker the whole game or something like that. I forget exactly what the rule in place is there. They went into it a little bit in the stuff I was reading, but there's some kind of funky rule like that. Obviously, the quarterback is on the field every play unless you're running some kind of wildcat thing or something like that where something weird happens. But yeah, there's some kind of rule there that would help defense, but defense is a little bit more complicated than offense. You're right there. Alec, your thoughts in favor, or you think it's going to be better quality, worse, same? What's your thoughts?
I think it'll be relatively the same. The one thing I will say is I think quarterbacks are going to have to learn to communicate with the other players on the field a little bit more if there is, a check or a kill play, because oftentimes in college when those things would happen and they come from the sideline, like each position group is looking at a different signal on the sideline, and now it's all coming from the quarterback for the most part. So it definitely is going to put a little more on the quarterbacks on the field. I think their preparation is going to be, a little less in that because there's less signs to remember and learn. But overall, I don't think it's going to be a drastic change. Obviously, if you don't know other teams' signs, though, like, maybe a couple teams did in the past, there might be more scoring. So, I mean, those are, isolated examples. But I think for the most part, it'll be mostly the same.
Well, yeah, and for a lot of coaches, not just Michigan, there was a lot of sign stealing going on. Now, Michigan, kind of took it to a level that was a little bit more questionable, I guess is the best way to put it, than other coaches did. But sign stealing has been something that's been going on for years in college football. I am sad that we're going to get less like Patrick Stars and Squidwards and stuff like that on the signs, over on the sideline. I always thought that was entertaining to look over there and see the cartoon characters and stuff. But at the end of the day, you guys like Brent Venables, who basically made his living off stealing signs for Clemson when he was the defensive coordinator, and there's been others in the past as well. That option's not going to be there like it once was as well. So, and the other part of it too, I listened to CJ Stroud talk about, the differences between the NFL and college football and stuff like that. And he was actually saying that one of the reasons that he feels like being a quarterback in the NFL is almost easier, not like because of the competition, but what your responsibilities are, is because he has that microphone in his helmet. He doesn't have to look over to the sideline and, know all these signs and signals. And, if he doesn't know the play, then the play is dead. Now, if one of your wide receivers doesn't know the play, you can get away with that. But he has, communication in his helmet telling him what to do. And then he just has to relay that to the guys on the field. So it's really, really interesting. Kind of a small story that I don't think has been out there a lot, but I definitely think this will be better for college football overall, if nothing else. So that way we can see guys know the plays and communicate to their guys a little bit better. So any more thoughts on that before we move on, guys?
No, I'm all I got.
Listen to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.